Hi YouTube friends, it's Lee here. Welcome to my channel. Big hello to anyone who's here for the first time. So I'm seem to be on a mixed media roll at the moment, so I will keep going along with this until I get sick of doing it, I guess. And I'm just going to do this page here. I did this one, I filmed it, but the footage was really blurry, so I didn't upload it. That was a nice one, I really liked. In the background you can see some of this sort of stuff, which is tissue paper that I've stamped or painted on. So I'm going to use some more of that on today's spread. So thank you for viewing my video and my last few videos, and also for subscribing if you're a new subscriber. It's really welcome, and I'm so glad that you've decided to join me. So the first thing I want to put in here is a little bit of collage. I think this is a bit glossy, so I'm going to get some book page. Why don't I tear something out of this glue book? Some yellow pages. I'm going to be painting over the top of it, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to find a page that doesn't have a lot of big diagrams on it. That shall do. I've been busy pulling images and words out of magazines for future projects, and you'd be surprised where you will find your goodies. I just got a whole heap of really good stuff out of National Geographic magazine. It's surprising what I found in there. So I'm just going to cover that up so it's not a distraction, and glue down some of this. Then I'm going to do a little bit of texture paste. I've got this particular stencil that I'm going to use for my texture paste. Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted. I'm looking around for my texture paste. There it is. Oh, over there. Okay, so I'm going to glue. Talk to you in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to do some texture paste with this. This is a Tim Holtz stencil. I think it's about the only one I own by Tim Holtz. And it's so dirty I can't read what number it is, but anyway, I'm sure if you wanted to find it, you wouldn't have any trouble finding it. Pretty sure it's one of his classic ones. Just about time to get some new paste. Getting a bit rubbery. More like rubber cement than texture paste. So when I get a bit of this on, I'm going to dry it off. If I can spread it. It's so gooey. And gonna go here. So if you enjoy my videos and you're not subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, if you can hit the thumbs up button, that is really helpful for my channel. It helps me to have my video suggested to other people. I just realised I missed a whole section up there. Leave it, I think. Okay, so this has got to go in a tub of water. Okay, so that's dried, and what I want to do now is add some white gesso. And when I get a bit of white gesso on, mainly to cover over this yellow a bit and blend it into the background, I'm then going to add some clear gesso, which is this one here, transparent, and that gives a nice surface for everything to stick to. So I'm just dry brushing the gesso on very roughly. All I want to do really is to just knock back the yellow a little bit. Like so. I'm going to dry that, and I'm going to see if I can block that sun out as well. Is that bugging me? I don't know if it's bugging you, but it's bugging me. Alright. So I've got this piece of tissue paper, and this is just regular tissue paper, and I used black gesso on a gel plate and stamps. So I've got this little cheap set of stamps here. That's what I've used to make this with mostly. What else is on there? There's a little bit of stamping with other things on there, but not much. And a tiny little bit of watercolour, which you can see that yellowy. So I'm just going to tear some bits of this off and put that in the background. And the other thing I want to do with this is to add some black gesso over this here. And I want it to be really thin. So I'm going to do that before I do the tissue paper. So I'll just use one of my little palettes, and I've just got a little bit of gesso on my brush. It's just about dry, so there's no water on it, and I just want to brush over this really lightly, and then I'm going to wipe it away, and I'm hoping that it's going to, see, it was a bit heavy up here, but down here, now that a bit more of the paint's gone off the brush, you can see that, you can really see those gears in that pattern. So that's what I was hoping to achieve. So what I'll do now is just use a brush with some water on it to brush over that and remove some of the gesso. So I wouldn't have to do this if I'd taken enough of it off the brush in the first place, but I didn't do that. Anyway, that's just something you learn as you go along. What I think I'll do is spray some water on that. Got a piece of fabric here. I'm just going to use that to lift that off. And whatever sticks to the fabric is good. I think this might be a piece of dyes, rust-dyed fabric. I have done some myself, but I think this is a bit of hers. Put that off there. How's that looking? Not too bad. It's a bit dark around the edges, but I can fix that up with some gesso. There's something else that I'd like to do to this, and that is to use something olivey green. And I'm thinking, do I want to use watercolour, acrylic paint, or ink? And I'm thinking ink. And I'm going to get my forest moss, because I love that colour. So forest moss. Spray stain. It's a stay spray, not a spray stain. Oops. Got more on my drop cloth than I got anywhere else. Look at the difference when it starts to activate with the water. It's beautiful. Let's see if I can get it to run down the page. A little bit more water. One little bit more there, but I don't want to add any more to it, so I'm just going to take some from up here and pop it down there. So I've just got water on my brush. I'm removing it from up the top here, putting it down the bottom. Okay, so my page needs to be dried. You can see how it's buckling. That's because it's got so much moisture on it, so I'm going to use my hairdryer on it. Okay, that's all dry. I've got my matte gel medium. I've already torn up my pieces. I might add a couple more on, I'm not really sure. That's what I've got so far. And I'm just going to glue it down. Page is still a little bit warped, but it'll be fine. Put this down the side here. There's something really nice about a transparent image, isn't there? It's just, I don't know. And this is just regular old tissue paper, like gift wrap and type of paper. It's not a wet strength tissue. So it does fall to pieces if it gets like too wet. Not when you're applying it to the page, but when I was actually painting it, I had to be really careful. So let's have a look, see what else we can pop in there. A little bit more. Sort of wanting to get a bit of this with the that yellowy colour in the background. It's a bit like ochre. I'll do. So I'm going to pop that there. Spread that excess around because it's going to seal that ink. I think that'll do for that little aspect of my creation. Now the next thing I would like to put in there is a little bit of text, stamping, and I want a waterproof paint. Look at this one. Ink, I should say, not paint. This is Versamagic Archival Multi-Surface Chalk Ink Pad, Midnight Black. So we're going to pop a little bit of text in here, there and everywhere. Just in the background. Down there. That'll do for that. Then I've got this little spotty one. I'll just put a few little dots in. Up top there. Okay, so that's going to do for my stamping. What I would like to do is dry it off again, just so that everything's set before I add my focal point in. Okay, that's dry and we're ready to move to the next step. So I'm going to use this image of these two children walking along a path, and this is from a National Geographic magazine, and this is also from a National Geographic magazine, but it was an advertisement, so that's what I'm using as my focal point for the kids. And I'm just going to use a ruler to tear that. I could leave the bottom of it on because where those words are, because it's actually the name. I don't know whether it's a painting, but W. Eugene Smith photographed. Yeah, The Walk to Paradise Garden in 1946. Okay, so I'm going to leave that bit on, but I'll tear the rest of it off. It may not be seen by the time I finish what I'm doing. So that can go on here. And I wanted to make this look a little bit beat up. That's better. It's a bit white, isn't it? I'm going to take it off and put some ink on it and take a bit of the white from around it. It's not so obvious, and I might pop that on there like that somewhere. So these ink daubers, still got a little bit of ink from the last time I used them, so that'll just make this look a little bit less white. Okay, so that's good to go. So I'm going to use my matte gel medium again to glue that in. Doesn't matter if it gets on parts of the page where it's not going to be glued down. It's not going to hurt anything. Don't know if it's straight. Probably not. Nothing I ever do is straight. So let's stick this on. Okay, something like that. Smooth it down. Now I'm going to put these words in here. Just trying to think where I'll put them. I like it in 3 pieces. Got more glue on my finger than I've got on the paper. Pulling everything off. I'm just going to make sure everything is down nicely, and it's got a good coat of the gel medium on it to stop it from falling apart if I decide to add some more wet stuff on top of it. So what I'm going to do is just a little bit of outlining with my Stabilo, just to put like a little drop shadow around these bits, just to lift them up off the page. Because that gel medium is still wet, it's activating the Stabilo pencil. That's why it looks really thick the way it does. Okay, so I want to go around the edge of the page. Now, the next thing I want to do is just to go around some aspects of this stuff here with a water-soluble graphite pencil. So I've got a 6B. So it's a Stadler. I don't know if you can see it for focus. Mars Lumograph Aquarelle number 100A 6B. Okay, so all I want to do is just go in on a couple of places. Just a little bit of circling. I don't want to do too much. Particularly like this thing here. So I want to pull it a little bit around that. By holding the pencil up higher on towards the end of it, you sort of give your control away, and the pencil does what it wants to do. Skips and jumps over the uneven surface. And I might just a little bit of scribbling around. Here. I think just a little bit of spatter would look nice on this. I'm going to use this watercolour and I'm not going to use a brush, I'm just going to use my finger. So I want a little bit of water. And I'm just going to wet the end of my finger. I'm going to rub it on one of these colours. And let's go this one here. So all I'm doing is trying to make my finger gold, which I've managed to do, and I'm just going to go in the corners like so. A little water. Just going to rub it over this bit of the texture paste down here, and just a little bit up here. And do I want to spatter? Oh, I don't know now. Maybe just a little bit. That'll do. So that's it. Your collage in the background, stamping in the background, texture paste in the background. Then added some ink, forest moss, and watered that, let it run all over the place. Put in my focal point and my title or words, and then I've just used my Stabilo pencil and then this graphite pencil to do a little bit of outlining on the page. And I'm going to call that done. So yeah, I like that. Hope you enjoyed watching it being created, and I hope it's given you some ideas. Alright, as always, have fun in your craft room. I'll see you for the next video. Hugs and cheers from Australia. Hooroo.